Hey everyone, this is Donna, the Technology and Media Librarian for Upper Arlington Public Library. In this video, in our Introduction to iOS series, I'll be demonstrating how you can use the screen time feature on your iPhone or your iPad so that you can schedule time limits and downtime for yourself and the apps that you use. Now, after you hear me say that, you're probably asking why would you want to do this? And it's certainly not a requirement for using your iPhone or iPad, but screen time and downtime are good opportunities to set limits on your device for yourself. If you're using a particular app too often and more than you would personally like, for me, that's Twitter and Instagram. If you want to get reports on apps that you're using so you have a better sense of what your habits are when you pick up your phone or your iPad, which apps you're using most frequently, it really is a great opportunity to assess your productivity and decide if you want to minimize distractions without having to completely uninstall apps that you've already installed on your device. So the first thing we'll do is open the Settings app on our device, and on the left side of the Settings menu, we're going to tap the Screen Time button. Once you do, on the right side of the screen, you'll be able to see your screen activity. It'll give you your daily average. You can also go back and see the week and previous weeks to keep track of which apps you've used the most, how long you're using them, how often you're using them. You can even scroll down and see something called pickup activity, which is a reference to how many times per day you pick up your device, unlock the screen, and then what apps you use after you first pick up your device. So this is information you can use to decide which apps you want to consider limiting your screen time for, or what times of day you might want to schedule yourself to be screen free. So the first thing that we'll do is talk about app limits. If you want to limit the specific time that you spend on a particular app, so only an hour per day on Instagram or only 30 minutes per day browsing the news, you can set those limits using the app limits feature. And you do that by going back to your main screen time menu and tapping on that app limits button. So again, this is where you decide how much time you'll spend on either a specific app or a category of apps. To add a limit, tap add a limit, and next you'll choose the apps or categories that you do want to add a screen time limit to. So in this case, I want to limit my time on Twitter, and I would select social networking and then Twitter from that list and tap next. And once I've done that, I can set a time limit per day that I am allowed to spend on this app according to my device. So you'll scroll through the wheel to select hours and minutes. You can even tap customize days so that you can set a limit for that app per day. Once you've set your time limit, we're going to tap add, and then you'll see you've created an app limit specifically for Twitter. It's been added to the limits section, and you can tap that limit at any time if you'd like to turn it off, if you want to change the time or the day that you applied those limits. You can even tap the delete button down at the bottom of the list to eliminate that limit altogether. There's another feature though on screen time that I did want to share with you, and it's a little bit different from setting app limits. It's not about limiting your access to a particular app, it's really about setting some screen-free time for yourself. And that is the downtime button, which limits your access to your screen with the exception of whatever apps you've authorized to get through during those time periods. To schedule downtime, we'll go back to the main screen time menu, and this time we'll select downtime. We're going to toggle that button to activate it. So now it's on, it's in green, and then we can select the days and times for which we want downtime. So you can tap every day for the same period of time that you are going to be screen free per day for the entire week, or you can tap customize days and you can select certain limits for yourself per day and then which times on those specific days. In this example, I'm just scheduling downtime for the same time every day. So I've tapped every day, then from I set my time, and then I select to and I set my time. And that's really all you need to do. If at any time you want to turn off downtime, you'll just go back one screen to the screen time section, tap downtime, and then tap the toggle until it's grayed out, and that turns it off. Now, if you don't want to use any apps during downtime, you're all set, but by default, it is set up so that you can receive calls and messages and FaceTimes. However, if you do want to schedule other apps to get through that downtime period, you can go back one screen to the screen time section, and this time we'll select Always Allowed, And from here, we can select not only which apps are available, but even which contacts can get through to you during your downtime through any of the methods that you've approved. Right now, you can see people can call, they can message, they can FaceTime us. The default is everyone can contact you, but you can even select specific contacts by tapping specify contacts. And if you do want to make sure that you have access to an app during downtime, scroll through that list of apps below. Tap on the green plus sign to include it in your allowed apps. So in this case, I'll say, oh, let's select Flipster. I'll let that through during downtime. I'll read magazines from the library. And now it's at the top on my approved list. And if you want to remove an allowed app, just tap that little red minus symbol and tap remove. And it comes off of that list, and you'll no longer be able to access that app during downtime until you specifically tell your device you want to. You can see under phone that you can even eliminate the messages, FaceTime, and Maps features. Like I said, they're by default included, but you can also remove those if you don't want them included in downtime. And that's really all you need to do to limit screen time for your device or limit time on a specific app. As always, if you have any questions, contact us here in the Media Services Department. Be sure to check out the links below where there are some great step-by-step resources from Apple support that delve more into screen time and its settings. Thanks for watching!